This video is a series of videos designed to support the Status of Funds project at the 107th Attack Wing in Niagara Falls, New York. This video will be updating the Status of Funds document with the DEAMS output. So right now, what we have here is an output file straight from DEAMS with columns A through AW. Now, my goal here is to try to get this document into our tool that we're going to use to hopefully make it look like this. And one for milpers. Now, one input file will have all the information needed to create both reports. In order to get started, I need you to realize that there are a couple of differences between what we have in the output file, which is this one, and the file that we've created for the tool. Some of those differences include these three added columns: Officer Enlisted AT, Cost Center, and Squadron. If you notice, there are already formulas attached to these columns. Don't mess with these formulas, as they will affect the output on the reports. To start, ensure that your columns A through AW match the columns A through AW here, with the exception of those three that we mentioned before: Officer Enlisted, Cost Center, and Squadron. Next, based on the way the data is already pulling and how it's already set up, you will take the information Alpha, Michael, from here. This is the DEAMS output, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's very important that you use columns, not just selecting all data. The reason for this is because the way the system is currently set up to pull, it's pulling from a column view instead of just a set data view. This allows it, as our data gets longer or shorter, to capture all the data. We'll copy and paste the new data. As you could probably tell, some of these items are already updated on their own. Next, we will do Program and Cost Center. Program, Cost Center, copy those cells, and paste. Now, some of you may be asking how I'm switching back and forth between those two tabs. Real quick, it is a quick, simple Alt-Tab. If it is the last window you've had open, the Alt-Tab allows you to switch back and forth between both windows pretty quickly. And the last one is from Object Class to the end. So we're going to come back, get the Object Class all the way to the end, copy that, and we'll do the same thing here. And we will paste the data. Great. Now, before we move on, we want to make sure a couple things. We've already updated the data itself. We want to make sure that these formulas also go all the way down to the end of the data. If you go back and do a quick check, you'll notice that we start with row 1. And from a completeness standpoint, we know that there's 1,448 lines. We want to make sure that we go to the other sheet where we put in our file, and we want to make sure that that number ties, 1,448. That way we know that all the data has made it through. Next, you're going to want to make sure that on the last line, all your formulas, which would be right here, are showing up. Now, you may notice that on a few of my formulas, they are currently listed as empty. And that's okay. The formula is designed in a way where if the if-error function is used, and basically it can't find whatever it's supposed to find, instead of creating an error or a value, it'll just create nothing. Makes it a little bit more clean. If you have any issues with the formulas, or if you have troubleshooting questions, that will be answered in another video, more in depth. Once you have that, your tables are ready to pull. All you have to do is go to Data and hit the Refresh All. Now, all my information has repopulated and everything is with the updated numbers. This concludes the updating the status of funds document with the DEAMS output file